Hello, creators. Registration for our next Wellness Center Creators Retreat opens September 1st, 2025. And we'd love to have you join us in person in Vancouver, Washington, September 22nd through 25th in 2026.
We've only got 20 spaces per track, so be sure to check out the options and see which one fits you and any leadership team members you may want to bring along.
If you register before the end of the year, you'll get the early bird rate plus some new VIP perks.
All the details are at wellnesscentercreators.com/retreats, and we can't wait to see you there.
You might already be familiar with the name, but if it's new to you, Jane is a HIPAA-compliant clinic management software and EMR, and the sponsor of today's show. Chasing down patients or clients for important information isn't anyone's idea of a good time, especially when there are forms to be filled, payments to be processed, and consents to be collected. That's why Jane has designed user-friendly online intake forms, so you can gather all the information you need ahead of the appointment, whether that's health history, insurance details, or a credit card on file. Jane will even send a friendly reminder 24 hours before a patient's appointment if they haven't completed their intake form yet, saving you from having to manually follow up. To see Jane in action, head to jane.app to book a personalized demo. Or if you're ready to get started, you can use the code WELLNESS1MO at the time of sign up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagenson.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. Today on the show, Anna's choking.
That was very loud in my ears.
I'm so sorry.
You need to twizzle some knobs and make it go down.
Twizzle. Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit better, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. Today on the show, Anna and I are going to talk about how to have a safe and secure business, how to secure your physical spaces and your online spaces, and we hope this is helpful to you. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Kendall. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we had this theft at our business, and so it kind of prompted this topic today.
Tell us about the saga.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I think it's a pretty common kind of bait and switch little scam that people do. We've just never dealt with it before because our first location is not in as much of a high traffic walking area. And our newer location, there's still a lot of construction going on in the waterfront development, but it's more and more walking traffic there. And so we're susceptible, I think, more to this, the experiences of like retail businesses. So basically, and it's been weeks long of trying to figure out who stole the credit cards. So essentially, a few weeks ago, our front desk gal let me know. Well, I got a fraud alert for our company card that was under her name, and from a local grocery store for $400. And I text her immediately because she was working that day at the spa. And I said, hey, are you at this grocery store? And why? And what are we buying for $400? And she said, no, I'm sitting at the spa. And then she got fraud alerts on her debit card, personal debit card, and personal credit card. So they stole her personal cards and her company card. So we realized, okay, these have been stolen. And we're going through all the scenarios, right? Like our spa space is 1,500 square feet. There's staff everywhere. It's, we couldn't fathom that someone could just walk to the break room. Her bag was in the break room and our break room was unlocked. And they took these 3 credit cards. They didn't take the cash. They didn't take the bag. They didn't take anything else. So essentially we go through this saga of trying to figure out, like, God forbid, is a staff member, which we just couldn't even imagine. Like our staff is so close and, and especially like stealing from her, our front desk, like our staff is close with her, no one would do that to her. We just couldn't imagine it. And we have cameras in our retail, but not in the back of the spa. People are walking around in robes. Like it's just not appropriate. Right. So we go through all the footage, like who came in during these, and we're like, okay, it could only be like this client or these clients or a staff member. And so file a police report. And then their next step is to get the footage from this grocery store. And it took weeks to get this footage. But they finally put it all together. And the officer called me at the end of last week. And he's like, let me text you these pictures. And he sent them. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's these 2 women, because they were one of the options that we thought it could have been. And our front desk staff member said, these 2 women came in and if something about it felt off. And they asked to use the bathroom. And she said, bathrooms for customers, you can use the hotel restroom. And they said, oh, no, I want to make an appointment. And my friend just needs to use the bathroom really quick. No big deal. So they distracted our front desk. She booked an appointment using someone else's stolen credit card.
Mm.
So she booked an appointment for same day later in the afternoon. And we go through the whole thing, right? Okay, yeah, card on file. You'll be charged if you don't show up to the appointment. Oh, that's fine, da-da-da-da-da, right? I'll be here. I'll be there. Of course, doesn't come to the appointment. And so we then charge the credit card on file, right? Of course, now the charge is being disputed because whose ever poor credit card was stolen was used for this appointment. So it's a cascade of events. These 2 women have been going around town to different businesses, stealing cards and using them at different places to steal more cards. Mm. So, and I'm a pretty vigilant, like I don't know if I would have done it differently if I was at the desk or not. The kicker for me is that our front desk gal said she read the credit card number from her phone. And to me, that would have been, that's a big flag, right? We got to see the credit card and we need to see the ID. And so we're putting some more of those measures in place for our front desk staff. But they were wearing masks, COVID masks.
Yeah, that's the scam. We have the same scam.
It's the scam. I had no idea. They're wearing masks and they were wearing big coats with hoods. It was raining that day. And then they went straight to the grocery store. So it's the same image of them on our footage and the store's footage. And I'm usually aware of all the scams. Like I'm a very vigilant person. I'm very I don't fall for these things. And I've never heard of this. And I think it's because we just haven't been in like the retail space. You've had this happen in your clinic.
I'm not sure it is. No, we've had it. So the exact same thing happened to the chiropractor next door, who then saw them, got a weird vibe. Mm-hmm. Same situation. So Kendall's in Vancouver, Washington. We're in the Bay Area, California.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. the chiropractor's got a weird vibe, and watched them come over to the acupuncture clinic, called. And so as they walk in, Janine's on the phone to the chiropractor who's saying, don't, there's something up. So we say, no, our restrooms are out of order, and go ahead and call the naturopathic clinic next door, who they're on trotting off to next.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yes. So we call the property management company, who call the police, who said that this is a big scam targeting healthcare clinics. And it's two women, typically.
Yeah.
One goes in and says that they want to make the appointment and that the friend needs to use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the friend doesn't actually use the restroom, as we all know, and then goes on a helping themselves binge.
Yeah. And so, we feel better that we know who it is, of course. And if the cops find them, they'll be arrested and it'll be a whole thing. But to me, it's like, yeah, they're super professional at it, because they would have had to been in before or looked. We have like a virtual tour of our space online. What we don't have, it doesn't go to the break room, but you could assume that what's not shown there would be towards the employee area. And of course, we have employees only on the door and they know where to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they were able to do all of that in the span of 4 minutes and fake using the bathroom.
Right.
It's fascinating and scary.
Yeah. So what have you done differently since that incident?
So definitely more training for the front desk around, we have to verify every single time. If someone's giving you a new card, grab their ID with it, and we don't allow credit card numbers read from a phone. There's no reason for that. If someone has their credit card on their phone, they're going to tap pay it. They're not going to be reading a number, and we just don't accept that. The other thing we're doing is putting a key code door knob on the break room at both locations, actually, because at our clinic location, it's also important to have that secure in that area. And so we're putting a key code on both doors, and it will remain locked at all times. And, we should have thought about that in the beginning too, if staff members are keeping valuables back there. But you think about it, because a lot of our staff members keep their valuables in their room with them, like under the sink, or, because I reached out to everyone else who was there that morning and said, did you have anything stolen? And they were like, no, my purse was in my massage room with me. And then the other thing to consider about that is like, if a client really wanted to, right, they could book an appointment and steal, while the practitioner is out of the room, steal from their bag.
Yeah.
And, most of our clients who come here, it's like we have a relationship with them and, they're not looking to do that, but it's like, we need to think about those things. So how are we going to secure our items? So now we're having more of a policy where it's like centralized location for all, valuables, personal belongings behind a locked space.
Yeah.
It's just one of those lessons learned.
Right. What about so for us, the locking thing, that's quite difficult to manage, same as your space, because we have a lot of pocket doors, which are
really?
doors are really challenging to lock rooms.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the staff room is a room in the back of the clinic which is accessed by one sliding door and one normal door. But it just makes it very difficult to secure. So of course, find a secure location.
Yeah.
But at the front desk as well, I think highlighting the spidey senses.
Trust your gut,
Yeah.
I think, I just told her, you just got to trust it. Like, it's okay to refuse service. It's okay, it's okay to hold your ground on, even if the friend did need to go to the bathroom, they can go in the hotel. They can go next door. They can go elsewhere. And we need eyes. If these people are not here for an appointment, you are with them, right? So, and the tricky part is people come in all the time to the spa and they're like, oh, we heard about you guys. I was just curious. Can I have a tour? And it's like, we do, that's very common practice. It's a normal thing. But she has to be with them at all
Right.
times.
Well, and then if she's with them, then that leaves the front desk unattended. So what
Exactly.
happens then?
Right. So it's just being very, very vigilant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our property management company got us all Ring cameras that we've put on the iPads in the office, so that after hours, at least people can get eyes on what's going on outside as necessary.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was really helpful, and they're not expensive.
Yeah, we have Arlo. We have Arlo cameras at both locations, inside and outside. So that's how we were able to see, verify these two women. And then at our spa location, it's connected to a hotel, and they have cameras everywhere. And it's very helpful to have their staff assist us at times. It definitely feels safer there. But yeah, just middle of the day, work morning during normal work hours. They did this.
Yep. Work hours. Yeah, it's the scam.
I don't like it. It's so violating. It's icky. I don't like that we have to think about it, at these considerations. But we wanted to share it with the listeners because if you're opening a brick and mortar space, just know that this scam is going around. And I think we all think about like cybersecurity and online security as healthcare providers, especially in like the telemedicine and virtual, now that we're in this more virtual space. But even with online health records, we think about that part all the time. Like, how do we secure patient information? And obviously we think about, securing our physical locations, but this is just another layer.
Well, Jane just sent out that email last week, didn't they?
Yeah.
About multi-factor authentication, and that some identities have been, or some accounts have been gotten into, and how important that is. And that's been something at our clinic has been a right pain in the neck, because, people like to keep their account open because they do notes all day, and they then, shut their laptop and then want to continue doing their notes the next day, but without having to log back in. And so when I put MFA on as a mandatory thing, I got so much pushback that I took it off again. Well, last week, believe you me, it went back on, and everybody was required to confirm that they had.
It's just so important at this point. We had, it's just that reminder, everyone change your password frequently and don't use the same password for multiple things, all that. And Jane, I really appreciated Jane's response, because it sounded like they didn't actually get any patient information,
right?
But they saw like that there were a few accounts that someone was trying to get into, and they basically went above and beyond to secure everything, right?
Well, and also remind us what we need to do.
Yeah. So I appreciated that. If you're a Jane user and you didn't see their email, just change your passwords and have your staff change their passwords. But your information, I had to reassure my staff, right? Our information and patient information was not taken.
Right.
It's just an extra precaution.
Right. But if you don't do the steps necessary and someone does get in, there can be massive ramifications for everybody.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad they were found. I'm glad you know what happened, and you have the peace of mind that it wasn't a staff member.
Yes, I knew it couldn't be, but it's like until you have the proof, everyone feels a little on edge.
Right. It's miserable. Yeah. Well, now you know.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome to the club.
I know. Apparently, I had no idea. I just realized this also happened to you. Yeah. So, be mindful, be aware. What other things do you do, Anna, So, I mean, we've all heard the story of you being locked out of your clinic because you've had
Nearly
so
happened
many
again last week.
security measures to get in. I feel like this happens online all the time, right? Where it's like you have all these checks and balances and then you can't get into your account and it's so frustrating. Like you had that in real life with your clinic because you didn't know the passcode.
Yes. One rule for all was the upshot from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you have a key code to your main door entrance.
Yes. That we like that because it makes it easy when a staff member leaves.
Yeah.
Then you can change the code immediately as opposed to having the door rekeyed, which I guess is what you have to do technically, isn't it? So we changed the passcode.
Yeah, I like that. We have keys, different doors. We have 2 doors to get into our space, and they're different keys. We've had it rekeyed a couple times, but mostly our keys are do not copy keys, and we keep track and get everyone's keys back. But I like your way better. I wonder if our landlord would do that for us.
It's dead easy to do. The only thing that you have to worry about is nobody paying attention to the batteries running out.
Oh, right.
So it starts to grind towards the end of the life of the battery. But if no one's actually paying attention and changing them,
then you're locked out.
One day it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But there is a key to override it. Heaven knows where it is, but there is one.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. We have this one room in our clinic that like we never lock, right? And it's like, and someone accidentally locked it a couple months ago and it was a panic because no one knew where the key was. And thankfully it was in my drawer in my office that I have like all the extra random keys. And I'm like, it's got to be in here somewhere. And we finally found it, but people were absolutely panicked.
Yes. It does make you think when these things happen that a smart person would label these keys, wouldn't they? As opposed to being me, who just leaves random ones in drawers with the expectation that I'll remember.
You'll remember.
If I can't remember the access code to get into my own office, the chances of remembering a key are fairly slim.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Label the keys, all the things. As far as like online security, obviously changing passwords, turning on MFA on your different platforms. What are some other things you in your clinic do to keep your online space safe?
The online stuff, I think that's it, isn't it? I mean, we have all the things,
Well, it's sort of those preemptive things, right? Of like making sure your email is encrypted, making sure the softwares you're using are, of course, HIPAA compliant. Like that's number one.
Right. So, yeah, everything goes through TDC in terms of HIPAA compliance.
Right.
And then can't really think of anything above and beyond what you've already said.
Yeah, if you bring in softwares that are already HIPAA compliant and web-based, then you're off to a great start. I think sometimes providers need a reminder to not keep certain things like on their desktop and like at the front desk too. Mm-hmm. I just went over this with our front desk staff at both locations of, they sometimes get in the habit of like making little notes on the desktop of reminders to themselves and things. And they do a good job of like not putting identifying information, but it makes more sense to put those notes into one of the HIPAA compliant systems that we're using that have task management built into them.
Right.
So it's that reminder. And then, if you hire someone in as support staff that maybe they're great at all the pieces of the job, but they haven't worked in healthcare, it's like, it is a learning curve, right? You can't leave that paper out on the desk. You can't leave your computer on when you walk away. Like we have to have all these checks and balances. So I think when you're hiring someone in as support, never assuming, even if they have worked in a similar environment, that you take the time to really train on HIPAA and what's okay and what's not okay.
Is it Shift P on Jane? I think it's Shift P. Just
for
remembering
privacy
that
mode.
That one's really a very important one that I think often gets overlooked.
Well, it's helpful too, like especially at our spa location when, our front desk will be talking with them about rebooking and talking about, okay, well, it could be next Friday or whatever. And clients will start walking
Yes.
behind the desk to look at the computer because they're more of a visual learner and they want to see the calendar. And it's like, no, that's not appropriate. But if you just do the Shift P really quick in Jane, it'll blur out everyone's names on the schedule, which is helpful. And you can still see what's open. But it's like, that's so odd to me. I would never walk behind a medical desk when I'm scheduling an appointment, but it's sort of like a unconscious thing that people do.
Yeah. Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Janine often prints out this just a blank calendar for that month, and she, has it in just a plastic cover, and so she can hand it over to the visual people. Look, we're here in the month.
That's a good idea. I like that. Most people have their phone; they can look at the calendar.
Yeah, but when you're groggy and you've just had a treatment,
it's so true.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a number of missed schedules from that.
Yeah. Well, we hope that's helpful to everyone, and look out for the two women scam coming in, with one wanting to book an appointment and one wanting to use the bathroom. Don't do it. Don't let them.
Yep. Stay safe.
Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for being here, Anna.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Wellness Centre Creators podcast. We hope you found this episode informative and valuable.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a rating and review. Your support helps us reach more health and wellness professionals like you.
For additional resources, show notes, and more episodes, visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com.
We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts, experiences, and questions. Feel free to reach out to us through our website or social media channels.
Once again, thank you for listening. We appreciate your dedication to providing exceptional patient care.
Join us next time as we continue exploring the world of wellness center creation. Until then, take care and keep making a difference.
Thanks for listening to the Wellness Centre Creators podcast.